Cultural and societal barriers have hindered women in tech careers in Africa as a result of certain biases and limited opportunities for advancement. According to a recent report by Women in Tech Africa, only 33% of tech jobs on the continent are held by women. These statistics pose significant implications for innovations and economic growth. SOUQ News Television's Temple Bara has more in this report.
The 2024 edition of SOUQ Africa Summit, the largest women in tech summit in Africa, brought together women in tech from across the continent. The event, which held at Zone Tech Park, Lagos, provided a platform for women in tech, founders, senior executives, and enthusiasts to learn and engage in powerful conversations bordering on technical and career growth, leadership, and diversity while networking. The summit also addresses the issue of gender imbalance in the tech space by providing girls and women with tools, learning resources, and job opportunities they need to succeed in the industry. The summit featured keynote presentations, panel sessions, and recognitions of women excelling across various fields. Speaking during the breakaway session, Omotola Omotayo, a community manager at Outreachy, urged participants to take advantage of the growing influence of artificial intelligence while noting AI can't replace tech experts.
If you ask AI, where can I get my next big job? AI is just going to make suggestions for you. Why don't you go to this website? Why don't you apply for this job? I encourage you to give it your best. Do you want me to help you with your CV? But when you attend conference, Omotola or any other person that you are meeting will tell you, oh, what can you do? How have you been doing it? Any other projects you've worked on before? What part of this career path are you looking? You have like more intentional question, conversation.
An open source advocate, programs manager, and technical writer at FMDQ, Basaya Ojo, urged participants to utilize open source to get their careers started, describing SOUQ Africa as home.
And I know how difficult it can be for new people in tech or new women in tech to get started. I mean, tech is mostly seen as a men's field or a man's field. So I want to help as many young girls, as many young women as possible to see that a lot of things are achievable if only they start.
Chisom Woku, a software engineer and the publisher of A Techie's Guide into Big Tech Companies, who spoke on personal branding, stated there's a need for a balance between self-promotion and career while delivering value.
Be loud about what you do. Like I said on the stage, be the star girl of your field. Let people see you and know that, okay, this is an expert in what you are doing. Another thing would be your personal brand is something that would grow. As your career is nurturing, your personal brand is something that would go with you. So you want to understand who you are, the kind of values that you want to stand for, and the kind of stories that you want to tell. And definitely your 5-year-old self, after like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're going to be very grateful that you started that journey.
Founder and Executive Director of SOUQ Africa, Ada Nduka Oyom, says the event has led to the creation of a safe haven in the form of a community for women in tech.
At SOUQ Africa, our goal is to, in summary, bridge the gender gap. And events like this provide a safe space for women to understand, acknowledge, and accept that their voices matter. To also provide them an opportunity to network, meet with other women in tech like them, provide more visibility. And from events like this, from our summit, it provides them the platform to know and see that, there are opportunities for them to expand in terms of leadership, in terms of growth, career growth, and just taking charge in an already male-dominated space. We are building an active pipeline. We're equipping them with resources, we're training them, and we're providing them with the opportunities like hiring opportunities and scholarship opportunities I had mentioned earlier. All in all, at the end of the day, the goal is when people come into Africa's tech ecosystem, they see a ton of women who are thriving in the industry thanks to SOUQ Africa and thanks to events like this, the SOUQ Africa Summit.
Gertrude Dume, a mother of 4 who participated in the summit, called for more events similar to the SOUQ Africa Summit while urging women to find their purpose.
As a woman, who we are should extend beyond our status as being single, married, with kids or without kids. And I push myself, my identity forward regardless of what my status is. When you see me, the first thing you don't think is, oh, she's a wife, she's a mom. You first meet Gertrude before you know about all of that. Those are add-ons, beautiful parts of my life, but first and foremost, I will identify with who I am and the purpose I'm here on earth to fulfill. So yeah, that's it for me, and that's what I would advise any other woman to do.
This year's theme of SOUQ Africa is driving innovation for Africa's economy. Women from all over West Africa have gathered at this year's summit, physically and virtually, and one thing is in focus: increasing the participation of women in technology. Temple Bara, SOUQ News Television.